The alien princess stood still as her ship landed on Earth. Her name was Princess Leora of Zerion, a planet far from Earth. Her long silver hair floated gently around her, and her glowing eyes scanned the strange blue planet. Today she was here for peace talks. Her people believed this was a big moment. But Leora wasn't excited. She had been trained to act royal, calm, cold, and distant. She expected the same from humans. "Remember," said her advisor, Commander Telek, "humans are emotional creatures. Don't let their ways distract you. Stay royal. Stay strong." Leora gave a small nod. Her ship's door opened slowly with a loud hiss. Bright sunlight hit her face as she stepped out. Human soldiers stood in lines, straight and serious. A red carpet stretched across the landing zone. On the other side of it stood one human. A man wearing no armor, just a black suit and a smile on his face. He looked friendly. He stepped forward, his hand raised in peace. Leora followed Zerion tradition. She placed her hand on her chest and gave a royal bow. The human, however, did something strange. He hugged her. Leora froze. His arms wrapped around her gently. His body was warm. She felt a strange energy pass between them. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't a threat. It was kindness? Gasps came from her guards. Commander Telek looked furious. The human soldiers looked surprised but not scared. The human stepped back, smiling. "Welcome to Earth," he said softly. "I'm Jack. I hope you like hugs." Leora stared at him. Her heart beat fast. Her skin, usually pale blue, shimmered with a soft glow. Something inside her shifted. "What was that?" she whispered, almost to herself. Jack didn't notice. He waved at the cameras and shook hands with other diplomats. But Leora kept watching him. She had trained for war, for diplomacy, for everything, but not for a hug. Later, in the Earth Embassy, Leora sat quietly in her room. Her hand touched her chest where Jack had hugged her. Her skin was still warm. Zerion Tech scanned her body. One small light blinked red. Strange energy detected. Source: unknown. "Is this human magic?" she asked softly. Her AI assistant answered, "No known weapon or power detected. Unknown biological response." She closed her eyes. In her dream that night, she saw an ancient Zerion queen. The queen was standing beside a man, a human. They were not fighting. They were holding hands. The stars behind them were shining. Then she heard a voice. "She has returned." Leora woke up sweating. Her room was quiet, but something in her heart had changed. She felt it. This wasn't just a mission. This was something bigger. The next morning, during the first official meeting, Leora walked into the hall. Jack was already there. He smiled when he saw her. "Good morning, Princess," he said. She nodded slowly. "Greetings, Jack of Earth." There was a short silence. Then she did something no Zerion royal had done before. She stepped forward and hugged him back. The room went silent. Cameras clicked. Reporters gasped. Her guards reached for their weapons. But Jack only smiled and whispered, "Nice to see you again." This time, her glow was brighter. Later, her people watched the video in shock. On Zerion, elders whispered, "Has she lost her mind?" But others smiled. Maybe this human was different. Maybe this princess was different. Maybe this was the start of something new. But in the shadows of space, other aliens watched with fear. The last time a Zerion princess connected with a human, the galaxy changed. Now it was happening again. And someone wanted to stop it, before it was too late. News of the hug spread across the galaxy like fire. "Princess Leora has broken tradition," shouted one Zerion news anchor. "She hugged a human in front of cameras," said another. Some were shocked. Some were angry. But many were simply confused. On Earth, the video of Leora hugging Jack went viral. People laughed, cried, and called it the moment peace became real. But in space, not everyone liked it. In the dark chambers of the High Zerion Council, angry voices echoed. "She disrespected our ways," one elder yelled. "A royal hug is sacred. She made it look like a joke." We must call her back immediately. But one old councilwoman sat quietly. Her eyes were closed. Her voice, when she spoke, was soft but sharp. The last time Azarion hugged a human, the stars changed paths. The room fell silent. Meanwhile, on Earth, Leora walked with Jack through the garden of the Earth Embassy. Jack showed her flowers that changed color in sunlight. He told her stories about Earth's oceans and forests. He laughed often. He didn't act like a diplomat. He acted like a friend. You're not like what I expected, Leora said. Jack grinned. What did you expect? A cold leader. Formal. Strong. Silent. Ah, that's boring. I prefer to be real. Leora looked at him for a moment, then nodded. I think I like real, but not everyone did. Later that day, Commander Telek entered her private quarters. You are making mistakes, Princess, he said. Leora raised an eyebrow. What kind of mistakes? Emotional ones. You hugged a human. Twice. You smile too much. You speak too freely. You are showing weakness. Leora stood up. Kindness is not weakness. Maybe not on Earth, Telek said, his voice cold. But in the galaxy it is. He turned and walked out, leaving her alone. That night, Leora stood on the balcony. She looked up at the stars. They seemed closer now. She touched her chest. Her skin shimmered again. The same soft glow. Why does this happen only near him? She whispered. The AI replied again. Unknown energy response. Triggered by emotional contact with human subject. Jack. It made no sense. No one on Zarion glowed just from feelings. It was not in the history books. But she remembered the dream again. The Zarion Queen. The human. The stars. It wasn't just a dream. It was something more. The next day, Jack took her to a tree. It stood alone in the embassy garden. Tall, strong, and silent. This is the heartwood tree, Jack said. It's old. We don't fully understand it. But it reacts to special people. Leora tilted her head. Like what? Jack placed his hand on the bark. Nothing happened. Nothing, he said. Now you try. She slowly stepped forward and laid her glowing hand on the tree. The tree lit up blue. A low hum filled the air. The leaves shimmered like stars. Jack stepped back in shock. It reacted. Leora stared at the tree. Her body was glowing, and the tree responded. But I'm not from Earth, she whispered. Jack looked at her. Then why does it recognize you? Neither had an answer. Suddenly, a soft voice came from the tree. It wasn't loud. It was almost like a whisper in the wind. She has returned. The bond is forming. Jack's eyes widened. Did you hear that? Leora nodded slowly. Yes. They stood there, confused and silent. The tree returned to normal, but the feeling stayed. That night, secret messages flew between alien leaders. The Zarion girl is reacting to Earth. This is not good. She is waking something ancient. If the bond forms again, it will be too late to stop them. On a hidden space station, a shadowy figure watched the footage of Leora and Jack. She's the one, he said. Just like her ancestor. We can't let history repeat. He turned to his soldiers. Prepare the mission. The human must be separated from her, or removed. The days passed, but nothing felt normal anymore. Princess Leora stayed on Earth longer than planned. The tree that reacted to her touch became the center of attention. Scientists studied it. Reporters talked about it. But no one understood what really happened. Not even Leora. She walked the halls of the Earth Embassy, quiet and thoughtful. Her skin didn't glow all the time, only when she was near one person, Jack. Every time he entered the room, something inside her shifted. Her heart beat faster. Her body felt warm. And always, the glow returned. One evening, Jack knocked on her door. Hey, I thought you might like to get some fresh air, he said, holding 2 cups of hot tea. Leora took the cup. I don't understand you, she said honestly. Jack smiled. That makes 2 of us. They walked outside. The city lights sparkled like stars, and the night was cool. Leora looked at the human buildings, the sky, the people. Why are humans so open? she asked. You smile at strangers. You hug diplomats. You drink tea with aliens. Jack laughed. Because we believe in connection, in being real. Leora nodded slowly. On Zerion, we are taught to hide feelings. But I'm tired of hiding. Jack looked at her. Then don't. She smiled. The next day, they went on a cultural tour together. Jack took her to a museum, a music concert, and a human beach. Leora felt free. At the beach, she removed her boots and stepped into the water. It was cold, but she didn't pull away. Jack watched her with wonder. You've never seen an ocean before? No, she said, smiling. This is beautiful. Then something strange happened. As she stood in the water, it began to glow softly around her feet. Jack's eyes widened. Leora, it's glowing. She looked down. The water shimmered with the same blue light from the heartwood tree. It followed her steps. And then, a symbol appeared in the sand. Glowing. Circular. Alien. Jack pulled out his tablet and took a picture. Do you know what this means? Leora stared at it. No. But it feels familiar. When they returned to the embassy, she sent the image to her ship's database. Hours later, her AI assistant gave a response. Symbol found. Match. 92%. Source. Royal Archives. Classified. Leora's eyes narrowed. Open it. Access denied. Only royal bloodlines may unlock this file in the Temple of Zerion. Why would Earth have a royal Zerion symbol? She whispered. She looked at Jack. Something connects our worlds. Jack nodded. And it's waking up. Later that night, Leora stood by her window watching the stars. She remembered her dream again, the ancient queen, the human, the stars. Her hand touched the glass. Her skin glowed once more. Suddenly, her door opened. Commander Telek stormed in. You must stop this madness, he said. What madness? Leora asked, calm but firm. This connection with the human. The glow. The symbols. The dreams. It's dangerous. I don't feel danger. I feel something real. Telek lowered his voice. Long ago, a Zerion royal fell in love with a human. Their bond was powerful. Too powerful. It awakened an ancient energy that nearly broke the galaxy. Leora's heart raced. Why wasn't I told? Because we buried that history. We feared it. That human died. The queen disappeared. The bond was lost. Leora stepped forward. You think it's happening again? I know it is, Telek said. And if you don't end it, others will. Outside the Earth Embassy, in the shadows, spies watched them. In a secret base far away, the shadowy figure who gave the order earlier now stared at a new report. Leora and the human are forming the bond again. We must act. He stood up and looked out the window of his ship. If that bond is completed, it will change everything. The day began quietly, but the air felt heavy. Something was coming. Leora woke from another strange dream. This time it was clearer. The Zerion queen stood in a stone temple, her hand glowing with light. A voice echoed through the dream. The path is open. The bridge will awaken. When Leora opened her eyes, she whispered, What bridge? She didn't tell anyone, not even Jack. But the dream stayed with her like a shadow. Later that morning, Jack met her in the garden. You look like you didn't sleep, he said kindly. I had another dream. Jack leaned forward. Was it like the last one? The ancient queen. She nodded. Yes, but this time she was calling me. And I heard something new. Something about a bridge. A bridge. Jack frowned. Maybe it means a connection between our worlds? Maybe, she said. But we need answers. Jack paused, thinking. There's an old site in South America. A ruin. It's not from Earth, or at least not fully. Some scientists think it's alien. It has symbols like the ones from the beach. Leora's eyes widened. Take me there. Hours later, a fast Earth shuttle flew through the clouds toward the ancient ruins hidden in a deep jungle. The trees were tall, the air warm and wet. Birds called from above, but the area around the ruins was silent. Too silent. As they approached, Leora stopped walking. I feel something, she said. Jack looked around. Like danger. No, she said slowly. Like memory. The ruins stood before them, old stone blocks, covered in green vines. But some of the stones had symbols. Glowing ones. Zerion symbols. Jack gasped. These are just like the ones from the beach. Leora walked to a large stone wall. Her fingers traced a symbol glowing faint blue. Suddenly, the wall shifted. A soft humming sound filled the air. Dust fell. A hidden doorway opened. Jack's eyes widened. You just unlocked something. Leora nodded. It responded to me, like the tree. Inside, the air was cool and dark. They walked slowly using a small light. Strange paintings covered the walls. In one, a Zerion woman stood beside a human. Their hands touched, and light exploded from them, reaching the stars. Then, they saw a message carved in both Zerion and human language. She will return. The bond will open the gate. The stars will remember. Leora read the words aloud. Her voice shook. Jack whispered, They were here together, just like us. Suddenly, the floor beneath them lit up. A symbol formed under Leora's feet. The light rose around her, forming a glowing circle. A voice echoed from nowhere. Blood of Zerion, heart of earth, you carry the ancient key. Jack stepped back. What's happening? Leora couldn't speak. Her body lifted slightly off the ground. Her eyes glowed bright blue. Her hair floated as if underwater. Then everything went silent. She dropped gently back to the floor. The light faded. She blinked, breathing heavily. What was that? Jack asked, grabbing her arm. I don't know, she said, shaking. But I felt them. The queen. The human. They were here. They were real. And they left a message for me. They walked out of the temple in silence. Above them, the sky grew darker. Storm clouds formed. But it wasn't just weather. Back in space, powerful telescopes caught a strange energy wave rising from Earth. Alien leaders panicked. The bridge is activating. She's unlocking the ancient system. Stop her before it's too late. In a secret warship hidden near Jupiter, the shadowy enemy prepared to strike. A soldier asked, Do we attack Earth? The figure said, Not yet. First, we take the human. Without him, the bond will break. The world didn't know it yet, but something big had awakened. After returning from the jungle ruins, Leora didn't feel the same. She couldn't stop thinking about the glowing message, the voice, the old queen. It was all real. She now knew the truth. Her connection with Jack wasn't an accident. It was destiny. But destiny can be dangerous. Earth's leaders invited Leora and Jack to speak at the Galactic Unity Conference, held at the International Peace Center. It was the first time humans and aliens would share one stage. Millions would watch. Back on Zerion, the council was in chaos. She's forming the bond. She's activating ancient power we buried long ago. If the bond completes, the humans and Zerions will rise again. The Zerion High Council wasn't alone in their fear. In the shadows of deep space, secret alien forces watched every move. On board the dark ship near Jupiter, the shadowy commander received his final order. Eliminate the human. Do not harm the girl yet. Without the bond, she is powerless. That night on Earth, Leora and Jack sat on the balcony of the Earth Embassy. You still want to go to that conference? Jack asked. Yes, Leora said calmly. We need to speak together. If we show them what we've found, what we've become, they'll listen. Jack nodded. You know, when I first hugged you, I didn't know it would cause galactic panic. Leora laughed softly. Neither did I. But maybe the galaxy needed that shake. Just then, a bird flew past them and exploded in midair. Boom! They jumped up. Smoke filled the air. Alarms sounded. Guards rushed in. Princess, Ambassador Jack, get inside now. Before they could move, a dark figure dropped from the rooftop. Fast, silent, not human. Jack pushed Leora back and raised his arm, but the attacker was faster. Jack was hit with a sharp shock. He fell, unconscious. Jack! Leora screamed. The attacker grabbed Jack's body and leapt toward a waiting ship. "No!" Leora shouted. Her body lit up with blinding blue energy. The guards fired, but the ship vanished into the sky. Leora dropped to her knees. The glow faded. Her hands shook. He was gone. In the hidden alien ship, Jack woke up tied to a chair. Cold metal walls surrounded him. A voice came from the shadows. "You don't know what you've done," the voice said. "You touched her. You bonded with her. You are part of an ancient force that nearly destroyed the galaxy." Jack looked up, blood on his lip. "We didn't destroy anything. We brought peace." "Peace?" the voice snapped. "Peace is an illusion. Power is truth. And the bond you two share, it must be broken." Back on Earth, Leora stood before a council of leaders. She spoke calmly, but fire burned in her eyes. "Someone took him. They fear our bond. But they don't understand it. This is not about war. This is about unity." One human general stood up. "Princess, we believe you. We will help you get him back." Her eyes glowed. "No, I will go alone." Her guards stepped forward. "You cannot." "I must." She walked to her ship. Alone, but not afraid. As she flew into space, something changed. The stars around her shimmered. Her skin glowed brighter. Her ship followed the energy trail left behind by Jack. It led straight to the enemy base, hidden behind the rings of Jupiter. She landed her ship quietly and stepped into the dark station. Guards charged toward her. She raised her hand, and blue light blasted them away. No weapons. No violence. Just energy. Power. She moved through the halls like a storm of light. Nothing could stop her. Finally, she found him. Jack sat weakly in the center of a dark room. The shadowy leader stood over him. "You're too late, princess," he said. "His mind is already breaking." Leora stepped forward, glowing like a star. "You're wrong." She knelt beside Jack and held his hand. Her glow wrapped around him. His eyes opened. "You came," he whispered. "Always," she said. The light spread across the room. The enemy leader tried to run, but the energy hit him, throwing him across the chamber. The walls cracked. The station trembled. The bond was complete, and the galaxy would never be the same. The enemy base was falling apart. Lights flickered. Sirens screamed. Explosions shook the walls. Jack and Leora ran down the corridor, side by side. She held his arm, helping him stay on his feet. He was still weak, but alive. "Almost there," she said. Her voice was calm, but her eyes glowed with fierce light. They reached the docking bay. Her ship stood ready, but guards blocked the path. Heavily armed, angry, afraid. Leora stepped forward, glowing brighter. The guards raised their weapons. "You can't stop this," she said. "The bond is complete." One fired. The energy blast hit her, but bounced off her body like water. She raised her hand. A wave of blue light pushed the guards away, gently but powerfully. Jack stared at her in awe. "You're not just a princess anymore." "No," she said. "I'm something more now." They rushed into the ship. As it lifted off, the base behind them exploded. Far away, alien leaders watched in silence. "The ancient power is back," one whispered. "They escaped," another said. On Zarion, the High Council stood frozen. They saw the footage. Leora glowing like a goddess, walking through fire, lifting Jack with a single hand. "She's the one," said the oldest council member. "Like the queen of the past. The bond has returned." But not all were amazed. "She is too powerful now," growled Commander Telek. "And worse, she chose a human." Back on the ship, Jack rested in a healing bed. Leora sat beside him, quiet. "I thought I lost you," she said softly. Jack gave a weak smile. "You didn't. You found me." She touched his hand. Her glow was softer now, calmer, like a heartbeat. "Do you think they'll ever accept us?" he asked. Leora looked away. "Some will, some won't. But we didn't choose this. The bond chose us." Suddenly, alarms rang again. A Zarion warship appeared outside. "This is Commander Telek," said a cold voice through the speaker. Princess Leora, you are ordered to return alone. Leave the human. If you do not obey, we will fire. Leora's eyes darkened. They still don't understand, she said. Jack sat up. You have to go. If you don't, they'll attack Earth. You have to protect your people. I won't leave you again, she said. But Jack stood slowly. He was shaking but serious. You have to. Not because I want you to, but because the galaxy needs you. She looked at him, tears in her eyes. Then slowly she nodded. She walked to the ship's control panel. This is Princess Leora, she said calmly. I will return alone. Do not harm the human. She looked back at Jack one last time. Stay safe, she whispered. The ship's door closed. Leora stepped into the Zerion warship alone. Guards surrounded her. Telek stood in the center, arms crossed. You broke every law we have, he said. I followed my heart, she replied. You've become a danger to us all. No, she said. I've become something new. Telek raised his hand. We will remove the bond from your memory. You will forget him. No, she said firmly. But guards grabbed her arms. A machine powered up behind her. Light surrounded her. Her body glowed again, but now it flickered. She fought back, but the machine pulled her strength away. Her legs gave out. She dropped to her knees. Telek stepped closer. Goodbye, princess. Far away on Earth, Jack sat alone on the balcony. He felt cold. Then, something happened. His hand began to glow. Blue light spread from his chest, just like Leora's. He gasped. He could feel her. She was in pain. She's fading, he whispered. He stood up, grabbed his bag, and ran. On the Zerion ship, Leora was almost unconscious. Her glow was weak. Her heart slowed. But then a loud crash. The ship shook. Everyone turned. Jack appeared in the doorway. His body glowed with blue light. I'm here, he said. Guards moved to stop him. But Leora's glow exploded in light. She stood up, floating again, her eyes full of fire. Jack ran to her. Their hands touched. A massive wave of energy blasted through the chamber, throwing everyone back. The machine exploded. Lights shattered. The bond had returned, stronger than ever. Leora fell into Jack's arms. I knew you'd come, she whispered. He held her tightly. I'll always come. The warship floated silently in space. Inside, the light from Leora and Jack faded slowly, leaving only peace behind. Guards who once raised weapons now sat quietly on the floor. Some stared in shock, others in awe. No one spoke. Jack held Leora gently. Her head rested on his shoulder. She was breathing, alive but weak. He looked around. She's not your enemy, he said. She's your future. Commander Telek lay on the ground, his armor cracked. He tried to rise but fell again. He looked at the two glowing figures before him and whispered, Impossible. No, Leora said, opening her eyes. I am what was once forgotten. She stood slowly, helping Jack to his feet. I don't want to fight, she said to Telek. I want to lead with peace, with unity, the same way our ancestors once did. Telek lowered his head. You're stronger than any of us ever knew. Back on Earth, the world watched everything live. The rescue, the bond, the energy wave. People didn't cheer, they stared. Aliens from different planets tuned in. Some were silent. Others cried. An old alien historian on a distant world whispered, It's true. The bond has returned. 1 week later, the Galactic Unity Conference began. Not in silence. Not in fear. But in hope. Leora walked onto the stage in a simple white dress. No crown. No guards. Just herself. Jack stood beside her in his Earth uniform. They looked out at thousands of beings from hundreds of planets. Cameras flew in the air. Everyone waited. Leora stepped forward. When I first met Jack, she said, I expected a formal greeting, maybe a bow. Instead, he hugged me. The crowd laughed softly. She smiled. That hug changed everything. It woke something inside me. Power, yes. But more than that, a truth. She looked at Jack. We were taught that humans and Zerions are different. But the truth is, we were once connected. Long ago, one of my ancestors formed a bond with a human. Together, they lit up the stars. That bond was feared and forgotten. She raised her glowing hand. Now it has returned. The hall remained silent. Jack stepped forward. We didn't choose this. It chose us. But we believe in what it means. That peace isn't built by laws or weapons. It's built by understanding, trust, and maybe even a hug. That line made the audience laugh again. But this time with warmth. Leora looked out at the leaders, the soldiers, the people watching across the stars. I offer unity, she said. Not by force, not by fear, but by the bond that connects hearts. A long pause. Then one alien leader stood. He raised his hand. I accept, he said. One by one, more leaders stood. A new alliance was born, not of war, but of bond. Months passed. The new alliance began to grow. Trade opened. Schools shared knowledge. Soldiers trained together not for war, but for defense. And in the middle of it all were Leora and Jack. They were not just symbols now. They were leaders. They stood together on every world they visited. Side by side, no crowns, no titles, just a human and an alien with a bond that no one could break. One night, on the balcony of the Earth Embassy, Jack wrapped a blanket around Leora's shoulders. Cold? He asked. Only a little, she smiled. He leaned closer. Still surprised by the hug? She laughed. I think I'll never forget it. He hugged her again, just like the first time. She glowed, softly and peacefully. I wonder what the stars will write about us, Jack said. Leora looked up at the night sky. Maybe they already have. And high above, the stars blinked, like they were smiling back.